Salutations, everyone. I'm back once again, as I mentioned before, with a reactionary video that I was supposed to post this morning. This is a clip that I saw from an interview on Instagram that was posted by Welcome to the Culture. And it had a panel discussion about if a woman was to make about $500K a year and a man made $70K. Would you have a relationship? Would you date them? And so one of the main panelists, one of the guests, I don't know if you're familiar with the Country Wayne skits, but she's one of the actresses that plays on those skits. Her name is Sarah Fatina. And so she was giving her explanation as to why she wouldn't. She would rather be single. And here's why. So let me just put that up there. Okay.
Man came along. Let's say y'all both make $500K a year. He's making $70K. He got a business plan. He got a vision. He's working towards that day in and day out. And you would have to look up at him on all the intangible. Does he get a chance?
No. I would rather be single. This is the thing.
Wow.
Let me tell you why. I have gotten to a certain point because I've built to a certain point. I am disciplined in everything. I'm disciplined in relationship with God, in my emotions, in my mentality, in my energy, in my body, and how I eat. I am very disciplined. And so I would expect that a man is the same thing, because when you're disciplined, whatever you do the most is what compounds in your life. Why would I not give a shot to a person that makes $70,000 a year? I could put you on. Hell, I could even hire you. Come on, let's work together. We could do all of that. But as far as my man, because this is the thing, I refuse to give into a life where I start to feel like I can't have it all.
That's where the insatiableness and the gluttony, because if you already have it all, why do you need a man to give you more? Like, that's the
if a man
cannot fully understand.
Maybe it's not love that they want.
Maybe it's not.
Let me finish.
Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second. And so I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to hear Sarah's explanation. And so she's basically saying that she's worked hard to the discipline, the willpower, and she was able to maintain her relationship with God, being able to acquire the level of wealth that she has and to put herself in the space that she's in right now. And she wants to share that space with someone that is going to be on her level, not so much on her level because she's not looking down on anybody, but she feels like she wants someone that's going to meet her there, to meet her where she is. And I can't get mad at that because she has the right to those standards. You may not agree to those standards. You may feel like, those standards are too high or unrealistic, but they're not unrealistic for her. And I think the same way a man would want to expect for the woman to bring certain things to the table, even though the standard seems like, for a man at a certain level, it seemed like the standards for a man are kind of lower. It seemed like when it comes to a woman, they don't have to bring as much to the table, and we see it, we see a lot of these what they quote unquote high value men who are, of quality of substance, they do tend to, settle for less than, but that's a whole nother conversation. But if a man was to have those type of standards, and I don't think anybody would be tripping about that. But if a woman is standing 10 toes down, and even if you don't agree, and it's not that she's saying that she's looking down on anyone or being a gold digger, but she is bringing something of what she knows her worth. She knows her worth, and she doesn't want to settle for anything she feels is less than mediocre. So I do respect that. But let me I'll get back to this.
Why does money have to be null and void of love?
I think it's because y'all keep going to money. Like, y'all don't really chime on like the other intangibles as much. It's mostly about the money.
But that's other tangibles. It's whole. It's all of it. If you're missing one, you can't rank one out on a scale of 1 to 10. In my lifestyle, in people that I know, I don't really know any people that make $70,000.
Well, I know. Like, what about a high school teacher who loves the kids in his community, who's not on that money shit? He wants to serve.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that I am around on a daily basis, the people that I call on my phone. It's different. So I will say my vantage point for what success looks like monetarily speaking is exponentially different than most people. I understand that. And I'm not here to wrong or shame the person that makes $70,000, because the truth is,
that's the part of the conversation.
Every single person deserves love. But like Tasia said, that's not going to happen with me.
Okay, there it is. She's not like, she made it clear, and she saying that she's not looking down on those, but that's not within her realm. And you know that a lot of us, if we're reach a certain level of success or wealth, and how we define that and how that looks like for you, we would, our circle of friends, or circle of people we associate with, are going to be different. Let's just be realistic about that. It is going to be different. It's not to say that you're going to just forget about or just totally alienate those who you consider your day ones or anything like that, but it's going to be different. Your standards are going to be different, as they should be, as you evolve, as you get older, as you acquire a certain level of success or reach a certain purpose, that God is designed for you. Is not to say that you still can't be grounded or humble, but your standards are going to change, and that's okay. And she's not looking down on those who make less than, but that's, she says she'll put them on, she would help them to level up, but she's not going to date them. She doesn't see herself being in a relationship with them. And it's probably also because of the fact that a lot of men, even though some men may not have an issue with a woman making more or being successful, but let's just be real, a lot of men are intimidated by that. They are threatened by that, even if they come into the situation knowing where the status of where the woman is in their life and their career. Excuse me. There's going to be an area of resentment there at some point. They may not find an issue with it in the beginning because it's all honeymoon phase. But once it starts to really get into the nitty gritty, you're going to start to see a shift in their demeanor. You're going to see a shift, and there's going to be some level of resentment, and they're going to feel like they're not able to be man enough, or they're not able to bring enough to the table. And so they're going to end up sometimes emotionally and verbally abusing that woman, because they're going to make them feel less than, to make themselves feel more than a man. And that's so not okay. Because even if a woman decides to have a man in their life, and they're in a relationship or marriage together, and they're living together, and she makes more, and the man, most men are not going to be intimidated or threatened by it, because they know their role. And a woman, a real woman, oh God, I don't want to say real woman, a woman who's secure enough to understand that that man is secure within themselves and their ego is not that fragile, they wouldn't have no problem submitting to that man. So no matter how much they make, she's going to still view him as the man of the house. She's still going to view him as the one to take the lead on most things. So again, you just have to know who you can submit yourself to, and making sure there's a safe space for that, right? And I think there's a level of communication that needs to happen in the beginning. Just put everything on the table, communicate what it is, what your standards are, and what you're willing to accept, and how we're able to grow. Because when you're in a partnership, there's no competition. Shouldn't be a situation where a woman cannot live their best life what our man feeling threatened, or making it seem like, well, what do you need me for? Because there's more. It should be, because like I said, it should go beyond money, right? It should go beyond money, if you have other attributes, right? But she, in Sarah's position is that, yes, I want a man to have all those attributes, all the things, including the money, including the status. I don't want to have to sacrifice one for the other. And I think a lot of women feel like they have to sacrifice love for money, or vice versa, or anything. Like, it shouldn't be like one cancel out the other. There should be a happy medium here. So let's get back.
Because I live in a space where I want to follow the leadership of my man. I want my man to make the decisions inside of my household. It's not about a dollar amount. It's not, okay. No.
Because he can lead in other ways.
No,
and with finances,
you've got to lead the household. You can look. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you options.
Exactly.
This is the question. The question I want to ask in fairness.
These people just got money. They don't even, the people who think they got money don't even have no bread.
Let me ask you this.
I disagree with you because I know the people.
She says she knows the people. They are out there. you know, but I think a lot of us are, you know, let me get back on the big screen. A lot of us are not always privy to or surrounded by the people who are, you know, on a certain plateau. You know, they're going to get there at some point, or they're getting there. But you know, she's saying that she's already connected to those that are already there. You know, because of how she was able to elevate, you know, and live in her purpose. Okay, so we just, like I said before, we just have to, it's a matter of communication. She says she wants the man to lead, and also she wants someone that's going to take on that leadership role, that's able to be secure within that space, be secure within his manhood, be secure within his finances, be secure within everything that he brings to the table. There has to be a level of security on both sides. And again, there shouldn't be a competition. And so again, and I don't think that she should be, and I know she's going to get a lot of backlash. I know it's going to be so many other people that's going to have commentary on this. But I just feel like she has the right to her standards based on, you know, where she is right now. And no one should condemn her for that, because again, she's not looking down on those individuals, but that's not the space that she's in, and that's not the type of person that she wants to date. Okay. You have to also understand, as a man who may make less than the woman in the relationship, you know, you have to, you know, maybe that might be motivation for you to step your game up, you know, but if you actually content with where you are and you're happy with that, you know, I'm not saying you got to settle, because you shouldn't settle for less than mediocre. No one should. Go within your purpose, you know, take that, step out on faith. Like, you know, that was the sermon for today during service. So I just feel like we need to just understand that there are people in all walks of life that have a different approach to how they date, or how they view their standards and what their priorities are, you know. But I wish her nothing but the best. I hope that she's able to find that person that's going to, you know, be that balance for her, because you never know, you know, her mindset could change, or it might not. But again, you know, God has someone who whatever's within the design. And, you know, you just can't conform to whatever it is that you want within a person, is what God has ordained for you. You know, so we have to kind of be patient and, you know, and wait on that, you know, and wait on that person. But it takes communication. It takes a level of discernment. You know, it takes self-reflection as well. Okay. It takes self-reflection as well. To know what it is that you're, you know, that you're worth. But I don't see anything wrong with those standards that she has, because she's not, you know, she's not saying that that she would not associate with anyone who is in a certain income bracket. She just doesn't want to date them, and we all have our standards, you know. I mean, I'll be cool with you. Like, if you're a smoker, and I could be cool with you as far as a friendship or an association, but I don't want to date you. I don't want to be involved with you, because if you smoke, it could be any type of smoking. I'm not a person that wants to be with someone who smokes. So it's just an example that I'm giving. You know, I know that's not like the same, but it kind of parallels a little bit, because her standards are her standards. You know, she says she'll put them on. She has no problem being associated with them. She's not looking down her nose at them. She just doesn't prefer not to date them. She wants someone to meet her where she is. Okay, so I just wanted to just offer my feedback on that video, and that's a clip from Welcome to the Culture, and I'm going to put their page in the description. And please comment on this video. Give me your feedback, please. I would love to hear what you have to say about this. Please thumbs up the video, and thank you so much for tuning in. I finally got it right this time. All right. So thank you so much. And if I don't see you again tonight, I'll see you soon again. And until then,